Daichi.
Okay. I'm busy right now. What are you laughing about?
Just saying hi to Daichi.
Yeah, we both have something going on.
Okay, well, take care of it out there, because I'm taking a break.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw that last time.
What?
I'm sure you saw that last time.
So what?
Just walk the truck.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about the fact that I put the smack away. How tight I said it.
Yeah.
It stinks. You put it away. Could you do it nicer if they need to smell it? If they don't want to smell, can you please put it away?
Yeah.
That would very much appreciated. I was mad about that. So yeah, I'm out here. I'm tolerating that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand you don't like the smell. I understand that it's not the most beautiful smell in the world. I kind of get that. So you could be a little bit, a little nice about it.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, Tyler.
Alright.
I cannot pull it. It's gonna hurt.
Catch you later, Tyler.
Alright.
Why is the orange juice, apple juice warm?
I don't know.
Hey, so you guys were throwing nothing away inside.
Alright.
Let's put it in the trash can then.
They're for different stuff.
Well, because if food's in it, I meant food products or juice or milk, because it'll cause flies, because you have the door open, and it's getting to be warmer. So that's why he wants it put all the way out there. And that makes sense to me.
Who's frozen? So you have to put it in hot. See, I'm telling you, I can't even,
Devin can.
because I have food in my hands,
I'm
so.
gonna lift and weight, Devin.
Alexis Gloria, please come to the attendance office. Alexis Gloria, please come to the attendance office.
I'm so great.
Scoot over.
Do I want to read this? That's cute.
Tyler, is your phone dead?
Yeah.
Why is that phone on?
You didn't bring a charger. I can let you use it for your 5th period. Mm-hmm.
My ice melted, but it's good and cold.
Jesus Henriquez, please come to the attendance office. Jesus Henriquez, please come to the attendance office.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Huh? Jesus. For real.
Very funny, really very funny.
That is Jesus. It's a shoe up. What?
You say that's a junior name with no dirt.
God juice.
You talking to you? You drink it?
I told you. It was frozen, so they put it in hot water. Put it back cider. one kid pretended to go to McDonald's and got a whole bunch of people's money, and they kept it.
Wow.
How many people?
Like 10.
Oh, that's not nice.
And that he got like $50.
Damn, I should start doing that.
How they made?
What? You mean
No, I'm all in water. Oh, I'm so good though. I'm so cold. I'm just freezing. Still got my extra hot chips though. Extra hot.
Extra hot.
Hopefully they're not stale. That'll be sad.
Nope.
Hot.
Thank you, Tyler.
You see the way his leg went? It just went like.
No, oh, I was just like doing this because someone done it. It was so funny. I hate to say this to you, and I don't want
You
to.
gotta put out papers again.
I know. You gave me talk.
You told me to
Is
tell
that Monster Reborn?
I'll be over in a few minutes.
Monster Reborn, right there.
That's
Oh, right there in your wrist.
I
Right there.
you. This
I responded to Tracy Baker.
It does look like it.
is just a cross.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know nothing about any of that.
So how was the
But I am
Cheetos?
going
Free
to
ones
use that free
yesterday.
from science.
Good? Oh,
Want some of mine?
no thanks. I think you gave me enough.
Hey, Andrew, you know class has started, right?
Yes.
So what are you doing?
Sitting
You're like negotiating what you might or might not eat. Now, you don't do that during my
But you're on your
class.
computer.
Dude, it's the principal. I'm actually talking to Chris, and I can't hear her
There you
over
are.
you
Oh.
talking about
What
whatever the
time?
heck you're talking about. Now, I am not going to compete with you. I don't need to compete with you. I am the winner of all of the races in this class because why is it? Go ahead, say it, Golden One. I'm the teacher. Yeah, that's right.
is that what we're doing now?
Hi, Tyler. How you doing? Chris, have you met Tyler before?
No.
Tyler, that's Chris.
Nice
Chris,
to
that's
meet
Tyler.
So, I have your warm-up quiz. Mr. Cole. I guess it'll take me a
We got two
second.
Tylers in here.
yeah.
Tyler, tomorrow during block, I'm gonna do some testing during sixth period, okay? Today, you have headphones? You guys, if you're gonna be in here, right there,
Is that what it is like? I'm
What's that?
not coming in here.
right?
Um,
So I'm gonna be discussing things with my econ class, so I don't have a problem with you listening to headphones as long as your phone, the gadget, is put away, like in a pocket or something, okay?
so he doesn't want you to use your warm-up on me, 'cause it would be word for word. Have you been in Mr. Paul since this whole semester?
Yeah.
Were you in there last semester too?
Yeah.
Okay, then you know how he does things. So, but you can sit here, you can use other lessons in other place.
No, I'm fine with that.
You just don't have your phone out where it's
Yeah.
visible. And take your time. If you don't know one, skip around. But skip around on this too. Don't make the mistake of not skipping around. Always be all these. Sometimes they are all of the above. And that's all I have to say. Now, Mr. Wallace, I'm gonna take roll, and then I gotta go to the Savages, and I'm gonna work with Gianni, and so we'll be in the library, so 30 minutes from now, and we're back. I guess I need to come back and correct.
You good?
Yeah.
You're a busy woman.
Did you talk to Paulus already?
No,
Then why are you coming back?
am I supposed to talk to you?
No, I mean, I just.
Find out
but-
about the stand of the correction situation?
Well,
I guess I gotta run over
I'm
there.
under the assumption that there's no correction
I
situation.
guess I need to run over there and make sure. Or you want me, you want me?
Just go, no, it should have been communicated, we're good.
I don't know.
We don't have to worry about that, okay? Okay.
Class starting now.
I'm gonna try and experiment, I'm gonna just stare at you guys and see if you guys will learn econ that way. Put away your gadgets,
Might
please.
fight.
Okay? I would like to finish the budget that we started yesterday, so you guys have your formula now. Now I wanna talk budgeting, okay? So we're taking a little break from the book. We'll probably get to it second half of the class. I wanna talk about budgeting, so you guys, this is part 2 of your budget packet. You're gonna staple these things together, take out a blank sheet of paper and writing implement.
Wow.
Blank sheet of paper, writing implement, let's go. Jeez.
Jalapeno, please.
Whoa, Libby. Get up here.
I'm sorry.
You can put my eye, I'll try.
Do it.
Feels so hot with this.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you had to fart, didn't you?
No.
That's what I do sometimes. I'll just stand there and kind of look at people funny. Really? I have to fart. Okay, so here we go. The title of this page, Budget Notes. Continue. Remember, you don't have to put a title. Everything, the W6 was put on the first page.
If we have enough space, can we continue on the same?
Yes.
thing?
So separate them, Libby, by putting budget notes, continued. Okay, actually, no, that would be dumb. That would be redundant. You don't have to put that. So now we're gonna start like coming up with our data for a budget, okay? So I'm gonna do this through a little Q&A here. So this goes, Ernesto, would you please put that away?
You want us to write that down?
Really? Okay, I'm gonna send you a letter exam.
For real?
Yeah, because you're not gonna, because I need you to do this. I need you to put that away.
I am.
I want the whole, okay, could you put it away? Or would you rather leave? You don't want to leave me. I call you golden one. Dude, I told you, I rubbed your freaking paper on my belly today.
That was weird.
Look, I only do that with students who I really, really, really like, awkwardly like, okay? And that's how you're gonna repay me. I am never gonna rub one of your papers on my belly again. Budget notes continued. So, first category, okay. Question, guys. Econ students. What are your necessities? What are your living necessities to survive in this world? Now, here's the deal. Hold on. Let me add this too. You are on your own right now. So, for this assignment, you do not live at home. You do not have your parents to rely on. All you have right now is you have a job, and I'm going to give you guys $2,000 starting, but you're not going to count this into your budget. So that's going to cover your cost of like your down payment, cover your cost for 1 month. You now have a job that pays you $10 an hour. You remember how much your net budget is? You have about $1,400 based on our notes yesterday. Okay? So now we got to figure out what are your necessities for survival. What are
A job.
we already have that. That's your $10 an hour. What are your necessities? What do you need? Remember, economics is the study of competing resources or limited resources with unlimited wants and needs. What are your needs?
Food, water, shelter.
Okay, so you're going to need shelter. So we're gonna call it rent. We're gonna need food. You said hygiene, we're gonna call this, domestic miscellany. You guys should be writing this down right now. We're gonna call that domestic miscellany. And here in this world that you exist in, you're probably gonna need some form of telecommunications. So we're gonna go phone /
Obama.
no,
Obama.
internet / cable. 1 second. B14 Wallace. What's up, baby? Talk to me. What you wearing? What do you need from me? Do you need to send him here? Let's send him here. Oh. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, I've been playing musical chairs with Ryan, and I have him like in and out of different classes. Could we maybe like does like we clearly have an issue? Does Julian have to be in that class? Like, I'm assuming that Julian was just moved into that class. Does he have like, because I typically, if I'm told, hey, you know, there's a problem with your student, I move him out of class. Could we put this on somebody else? Because I don't know where to put it. And he has, what does he have right now? This isn't study skills. This is world history. So this is what he needs. Is Julian there for world history because he's on diploma track? Okay, then he doesn't really need this class. That's the way I see it. Who between me and Heather? Okay. You know what, I don't mind, because now I'm going to start asking for something. So I don't have a problem with that. I'll go to her and tell her that this is how I think this should play out. Because my student needs the class, it's a graduation requirement. So I think that maybe somebody should like move their student out this time. Especially if the student doesn't need it as a graduation. No, I know that, but it's like, you know, when we have students that shouldn't be put together, like we are all willing to juggle our schedules for it, right? Here's the thing, my student has the problem, and I get that. And it's like, if you guys, I mean, you know, if we need to put somebody in there, you know, it's like, look, my student needs a class. It's a graduation class. Do they need it now or no? But my student has also like been moved out of other classes because of this other student. So there's a contingency where my student is moved here. However, that teacher, Happy Jackson, has kind of figured out a way for those two to work together. But my student is constantly being moved out of class. I even moved my student out of classes, you know? So I'm just hoping like this time, because this is a graduation requirement, and I got nowhere else to put them, that my student stays. If you, no, and I got you, and send them down here, that's fine. If you put it out in an email, I'll throw it out to Heather. And I'll say, this is how, I would like this to happen. And if you guys don't like it, you know, I mean, just, you know, you guys can say it, and we'll go from there. Cool.
Can you see nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we got phone, internet, cable, we got domestic miscellaneous. Ernesto, that would cover things like hygiene. Please put away your phone now. That would cover things like hygiene, like toilet paper, tampons, toothbrush, things like that. Hey, that's a reality of living, you know, so, and those things cost money, and those things should be part of your budget, okay? So we call this miscellany, it gets factored in. Phone, internet, cable, what else do you need? You got rent, what else is associated with rent?
Water.
Utilities.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Utilities. Do any of you want to go to college
Yeah.
as you moved out? Are you done? Okay.
No,
You can
I'm
give
a
it to me. We have to,
drug dealer.
You want to be a drug dealer? Your mom would be so proud of you.
Yeah, she would.
Tyler, did Paulus say,
He said come back in like 30 minutes.
in 30 minutes. Okay, you can hang out here, you can be part of this conversation if you want. Cause I think 30 minutes would be at 20 till. So in about another 10 minutes, right? Class started. I'm really bad at math. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. At quarter till. That's a totally racist thing to
You're
say.
Mexican.
That I'm Asian and I should be good at it. You know, you're right. My Asian side of the family asked me, "Why are you so bad at math? You're Asian." I'm like,
When's the next
I don't
time we're
know.
gonna watch the movie?
when's the next time we're gonna watch
Why
it?
do you watch movies? That's like once in a blue moon.
No, I'm talking about economics.
Oh, we're moving. So when we get into the history of the stock market crash and trends, economic trends, we're not quite there yet. Okay. All right, utilities, and then do you guys want to go to college? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan it, Ernesto, as if you want to go to college. All right. So here we go. And how about transportation? You guys need transportation?
Yeah.
Car and gas.
Car and gas? You guys can't afford car and gas.
Ah.
Okay. Why not? Because you guys are making $10 an hour. You need to go to you're going to college, and you got to pay your rent and all those other things. Tai, I need you to be part
Ride
of
your
this.
bike.
Not be a distraction. Okay. All right. Yeah, you can have a bike. So transportation doesn't have to be anything. If you guys decide you don't want to have, yeah, you can walk. You can take a bus. You guys know if you have an IEP, what a bus costs. A
No.
monthly bus pass? If you don't, so for students with an IEP, it would cost you guys $55.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you'd be paying $110. Now, I believe though, if you're a college student, you get a discount too. I don't know what the discount
And if you have a
is.
student
We'd have to
pass.
look it up.
Like a student pass?
That's what I just said. If you're a student, you can get a discount. But I don't know exactly what that is. Back to this, what's rent? You guys know the formula for what you can afford for rent?
No.
Okay, you have my careers class, Tai. I taught you this. What's the formula?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
No.
I don't know. Well, do you remember how much rent you guys are allowed to spend?
What?
Okay, so you guys have, write this down, $500 a month.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so basically you gotta remember, your base is this, your net, hey guys, under rent, make sure you write $500. This is part of your budget that you have to factor in. Your rent cannot be 3 times more than your gross income, monthly income. So, what you're gonna do is your gross monthly income is $1,600, okay? That means 500 times 3 comes out to what? $1,500, right?
Yeah.
So did you meet your gross monthly income? Yes. But if you go a little bit above it, you're probably like, if you go to 550, you're gonna be over, it'll be 1650, which will be over your gross monthly income. Libby, what's the formula for figuring out your rent? When you guys apply at an apartment, they're gonna ask to see a paycheck, a pay stub, or they're going to ask for verification from your employer how much you've made. Okay, if you go to like a typical kind of apartment, okay?
It can't be 3 times.
3 times more than your gross monthly income, not your net, your gross monthly. Remember, what does gross mean, Tyler?
Disgusting.
That was funny.
The money you get before tax.
The money you get before your $10 an hour prior to taxes.
You're smart at, that's what makes it funny.
I know. Food, you guys remember food? How much do you think you spend on food each day?
50.
You think you spend about 50 a day?
100 maybe?
About 100 a day? Wow.
All the way to the
You're part of the jet set? What's that?
Is it every day or grocery?
Every day. How much have you guys ever broken your meals down?
For like $10.
Okay, you think about $10 a day? What do you guys
Like,
think?
there's lunch at school, and then there's like maybe after school.
You guys aren't going to school anymore. For this budget, you guys are out on your own.
Oh.
You're living on your own. You're going to college, but college is voluntary. It's not
Oh, I thought
mandatory.
you meant
Don't
like
you get free food
groceries.
at college?
What?
No.
Maybe.
Tricky, bruh.
So guys, listen, if you get, now there's certain scholarships that you might get, and one of those scholarships might include your room and board paid for.
Ooh.
And what room and board means is the cost of you, so like if you live in the dorms, there's your room, and your boarding is basically your food. You'll be given a meal plan. A typical college meal plan is you get 3 meals a day. So you have so many points, and that covers 3 meals a day. Okay, if you want to eat like a pizza, sometimes, like I went to Humboldt State back in 1983, fall of 83, and I had a meal plan. And if I wanted pizza, it would take points off my meal plan. What would happen is, my meal plan was basically you could spend this many points a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once you use up your points, you're done with your meal plan, okay? And I'll tell you what, people who got stoned a lot used up their points like that. Because they were going into that. Now, this is a serious thing, because they were going into like the student union and buying pizzas, buying candy at the bookstore. And the thing is, those things cost a lot of money, and they would eat up their meal points. So then all of a sudden, November rolls around, they go into the main cafeteria to get breakfast, and they're being told, you don't have any more points. So it's something, see, this is about budgeting, right? Competing unlimited wants and needs with limited resources. Now, if you have a mommy or daddy who can replenish your meal points, then you're lucky. But if you're somebody who's living from month to month or semester to semester, and I'm talking in college, then you might be screwed out of a meal if you don't figure out how to budget.
Like, how many meals can you get without going, like, wasting it? Like, say if you have that meal card, how long would it last?
Well, so the Humboldt meal card was that you got X amount of points over the semester, and here's how they broke it down. They looked at if you spent, like, let's say a typical meal, eggs, bacon, potatoes, and coffee. There's breakfast, so they came up with, that's about worth, say, 50 points. And then your lunch was a hamburger, salad, and a drink. That's worth 60 points. And your dinner is worth, say, 100 points. They averaged it out, and then on the weekends, they assumed you would only eat 2 meals. There was no breakfast, lunch, and dinner. College students have a tendency to sleep in on the weekend, so they called it brunch and dinner. So based on that, they take that and they look at, all right, if you bought a meal there every day for the entire semester, which went from September to December, this is how many points you would need based on an average person's eating habits. If you ate a lot, like the athletes, some of the athletes, you know, they would consume a lot of calories. They would burn through their meal points like that. Now, here's the other thing. If it was a university like the student union had a pizza place there, and they had a sandwich shop there, and there was an ice cream shop on campus, you could use your meal card at all of those places because they were affiliated with the university. However, a pizza, which was say 18 bucks for a large pizza back in the day, right there was like, that was the equivalent of 1,800 meal points. So it was a huge hit. And this is where I say, like, people, now here's the thing, some college students, you know, they like to smoke of the reefer, they like to drink of the beer, and they get like drunk or they get wasted, and then they become really friendly, and they want to buy their friends pizza and ice cream, right? And then the next thing they know, it's like, damn, I used up a lot of meal points, so you're going to have to learn it. Now, a lot of the students who were at Humboldt State, they were rich kids from Southern California. So they just call their mommies and daddies and say, hey, I ran out of points. Can you give me some more, send me some more money, and they could buy. Someone like me, this poor sod from Sacramento, I burned through my meal points. My mom would say, oh, well, I guess you're going to starve, huh? So guess what I had to do? I had to get a job. So I got a job at a restaurant. So I could eat at the restaurant, and I could make a little money. So, and then I also learned, here's the other thing I learned how to budget. Because I went through points so fast in one quarter, the next quarter, I made sure I didn't go through points as fast. Okay? But back to this. Your rent is $500, your food. So you think about $10 a day, Tyler? What do you guys think? Like, break it down, like, think of a weekend where you're not here at school and getting a meal on campus. How many meals do you eat in a day? Most of you eat 3 meals a day, not including the snacks. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Yeah? No? How many of you eat breakfast? Raise your hand if you eat breakfast. Only one person, 2 people eat breakfast.
Yeah, it depends.
The rest of you don't eat breakfast.
I eat cereal, so.
Well, that's freaking breakfast!
I know.
Okay. All right, how many people eat lunch? So most of you eat lunch. So there's breakfast and lunch, and how many of you eat at dinner? So we're going to call it 3 meals a day. And I'll even leave out the snacks. Forget about the snacks. 3 meals a day now. Do you guys typically on a weekend, will you go to, say, a fast food place and eat lunch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How much will you spend at a fast food place?
$5.
5? How much do you spend? About $5? Okay, so your lunch you can keep at about $5. And I'll tell you what, if you could spend $5 eating at home too, you could make yourself a pretty nice meal with $5. So we'll call lunch $5. How about for breakfast? How much would you spend? Bowl of cereal, what do you think that breaks down to?
Like $3.50.
Let's call it another $5 once you factor. So there's $10. How about dinner? What do you think dinner's going to cost you? It does
You
depend.
have some steak and some mashed potatoes and
Maybe
some.
it makes spending a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I do is I make pasta. I make a big pasta. I did that Sunday night. I made a big pasta dish. And now I have it in a big container and I cut it into squares. And I take the squares out and I've been eating that for lunch. So my pasta dish probably costs about $15 to make. But that's going to last me for 4 lunches. Okay? But regardless, it's like Napoleon Dynamite. Yes. Can you put that away now? Like I know it's plugged in, can we remove it from our desk?
Where was it supposed to go? It can't reach into my backpack.
Put it in your pocket, put it in. Okay, so we're gonna call this about $12 a day. That's, you guys are getting off easy. 12, but no, I'm gonna call it $15 a day. 5 miles per dinner. 5 miles per dinner. $5 per meal. All right, how many days are in a month?
They're 20.
So I want you to multiply 30 times freaking 15. There's 30 days in a month.
I had one.
30 times 15. $15 a day. There's 30 days in a month.
450.
450. That's how much food costs. All right, domestic miscellaneous, we're going to call this $50. No, we're going to call it 25.
What is that for?
Domestic miscellaneous. That means miscellaneous things you would buy at home. Toilet paper, deodorant, dishwashing soap, diapers if you need them, all these things. Okay?
Baby food.
Baby food if you need. Hey, I have many students who quickly upon leaving here, I already know 1, 2, 3 who have children already.
Damn.
And they're either just into or just beyond their 20s. Meaning they're like within 20, 21, 19, that age. That's a whole other expense. I'll tell you what, they'll come in here and they'll be like, damn, Wallace, I never knew it was so hard. And I'm like, right? It is what it is. Back to this, phone, internet, cable. Now, this day and age, I know some of you watch, you know, that you guys don't need cable because you watch everything on your iPad or your Cinemax or whatever the hell it's
I
called.
watch TV. That's how you watch TV.
Okay, so do you need cable television, yes or no?
No.
You guys don't use cable? I know that's a reality, yes?
But you didn't have to pay for the subscription for Netflix.
Do you have to, okay, so that's what we gotta figure out, so, but you can watch it on your phone, right?
What if you get cable and just use
You
the
have to have a
Wi-Fi?
subscription if you want to use Netflix or Hulu.
Well, that's called internet.
Okay, I put Wi-Fi.
Question, what number am I gonna put here? I know like a phone, basic internet is $35 for basic phone service.
It's like 150, right? No?
50 for unlimited.
50 for unlimited, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, so about 50. Now, would that include cable? Would that include like Netflix, things like that?
Yeah, on your phone, $50 is unlimited Wi-Fi.
Unlimited Wi-Fi, but does that mean you
No.
get access to
No.
Netflix?
No,
You
what-
still have to pay.
You still have to pay, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another 10. So let me ask you guys something. Okay, do you have to pay for Hulu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do all of you want to have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're taking our $50 and we're adding, is it about $10 for each of those things?
Actually, Amazon Prime is $85 a
It's
year.
like somehow, it's like 100 something. Maybe 200. Who
What are
knows?
you talking about?
What?
He's just rambling, but hey, go easy on him. He's a golden one. I love you, Bookie.
Stop.
So what do? We got 50 bucks for your basic phone. What do I add to it? What do you guys need to survive?
A food?
Do you guys know what's on the back of this? There's a picture of me smiling and waving. He's been staring at
What the hell is wrong with you, Nico?
Guys, what do I add to this? Give me, so we got 50 bucks for the phone. What?
30.
So I need to add another 30. So we're gonna say 80 bucks? Okay.
Well, cable costs.
Okay, Ernesto, am I saying is 80 too low?
No, it's fine.
He was talking about 200. What is he talking about?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh.
Utilities, you guys ready for utilities? That's gonna be about 100. So write this down. It's gonna come out to about 100. You can probably, it'll depend, here's the thing. Here's what you're gonna notice. In the summer, in the peak heat and cold, those utilities are gonna spike, okay?
Unless you don't use them.
It does depend on, the size of your house.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is based on, so I'll give you some, you know, I lived in a small duplex prior to moving into the house that I live in. And it would come out to about 100 bucks a month. In the winter, sometimes I'd have like, for SMUD, I get a $90 bill. Okay, for keeping my heater going.
That's why you take cold baths.
Well, no, actually, so I'll tell you this. I actually didn't really use my heater. I used to tell my kids when they were with me, I'd say, wear a sweater and socks. My daughter would be like, it's called, Taylor used to come over, we'd watch football, eat pizza, and he would have to wear a jacket. He goes, Wallace, what the hell is wrong with you?
Now, can you see
He'd
your
be
breath?
No
shivering.
wonder you like the freaking door open.
I do it at home too. Okay, but my point is this.
Wait, hold on.
But in the summer, because I like it cold, my bill would be up to like 140 a month because I have my air conditioner running all the time. So
Same.
you guys will have to figure out your budget. So right now we're gonna go with 100 bucks. Okay, that's your utility bill. This is general. You could probably bring it down if you need to. Now I'm really good about when I'm at home. I make sure when I walk out, every light is off. I
My mom's bad at that. We leave all the lights on and all the
Oh,
TVs.
yeah.
We do that a lot too. You don't want anybody to break in.
You guys are going to AR. I got a question for you. Do you want to be full-time or part-time students?
Neither.
Part-time.
Part-time, okay. So do you guys remember how much AR costs per
$46.
unit? Very good. So part-time, do you want to take 2 classes, yes or no?
Yes.
Can you handle 2? Okay, so that's 6 units, so you got to go 46 times 6. Can someone do that, please? What's 46 times 6?
90, right?
It's going to be about 280 bucks.
What?
I'll just tell you right now.
Oh my
46
God.
times 6. You got a number? What is it?
276.
276. Okay, so listen. That's for 2 classes, so we're going to call it, hey,
You see my phone.
we'll call it, we'll just round it out, we'll make it 275. But when you take a college class, you have to buy your own books. Those can be really expensive, so I'm going to add per class another 40 bucks per class. You're going to need a book for each class. If you can find a used book in crappy condition, you might find it for half off. So we're going to take 275. Okay. Now listen, this is okay. You're going to add 40 bucks per class, so 350. And here's what you're going to do: go 350 divided by 4, because you're going to have 4 months that you're going to pay this out. So what's 350 divided by 4?
89.
Do they always play explosion?
That's coming from him. Okay. So basically, your college is going to cost you $90 a month, right? $90 a month. Because you're going to spread that out. Now, you might have to pay it all at once, or if you put it on a card, you work it out. It's going to basically come out to 90 bucks a month. Because you're not paying 350 bucks every month. You're paying it for the semester. But if you're going to go to school all year round, it's going to come out to about 98 bucks a month. Finally, transportation. You guys are going to take the bus. I know Libby wants to ride in her beautiful BMW, but
BMW?
your dad is like, you know what? You're graduated from high school. Get the hell out of the house. I'm getting Wallace a BMW because he's had to put up with your crap for 4
I
years.
want a 1967 Ford Mustang.
I have a 2003 Mustang.
Good for you.
You know, when I turned 16, did I tell you this story? When I turned 16, I told my mom, I got my driver's license, I said, Mom, I want a new car. I didn't demand a new car, I figured it'd be a used car. She goes, oh, you want a car? And I said, yeah, can you help me buy a car? She goes, tell you what, she took out $20 and she threw it on the table. She goes, buy yourself a new pair of shoes, you're gonna need them because you're walking everywhere. That was our conversation. The answer to my prompt was, you want a new car, get a job, save up money, and buy it yourself. And that's what I did. I got a job, I saved up money. She let me now, as long as I was going to work, she let me borrow the family car to get to work. I was not allowed to go anywhere else. And, you know, I never did this, but I had friends who would borrow the family car and go to things like parties and stuff. I never did that though.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
How'd you say your books?
Let's add all of this up. Add it up. Go. Tell us what our budget is. And let me know whether we are over budget or not. Remember, our budget, our net, was 14 and some change. So I'm going to say $1,400 was our net budget. You don't have to write this down because it's on the original page that you guys did. Hey, are you adding this stuff up? Or are you just staring blankly ahead?
Staring blankly ahead.
Okay, don't do that. Did you write this stuff down? Okay, good. Now add all of this up. Take out your, and don't yell it out.
I won't yell.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to add all of these up, and I'm going to make sure that we all have the same number.
I just did all
You got a calculator? Then you can add them up on paper. You know how to do that? You're just adding.
I was get a discipline for not even having a phone. That's not his fault. That's what he has to add.
That's not discipline. He's dealing with reality. If you don't have a freaking calculator at home and you're figuring out your budget, you better figure out how to add it up, right?
Sure.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it. That's reality.
Wait,
It's hitting you in the face.
how much is
So don't worry about this. They came up with this number yesterday. So they're going to see if their budget meets their income. Because if it doesn't meet your income, we're going to have to pare back somewhere. So I can just, I think we should be able to meet our budget. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, no.
We forgot something. Ent. You guys remember what Ent is? No, we got food. Ent is entertainment. Remember in our careers class we talked about Friday rolls around, you get off your job at GameStop, your friends, your homies call you and say, hey, let's hang out. You want to go to Taco Bell, go see a movie? All right. We're going to go $50. Add another $50. No, that seems awfully low. Let's go 100.
Oh my god.
That's $25 a week. Add another 100 for entertainment.
Okay.
Okay, now, add up all the numbers, tell me what you got. What do you got?
That's literally
What did you get?
1,400.
1,400. That's the whole budget.
That pushed us to our budget. So, here's,
So you gotta take something away.
You're getting fucking wrong.
is there tax?
Yeah, like don't you have tax? Like taxes to do?
I got one.
No, so this 1,400 is what you net. So this is what you get, $10 an hour on a typical work week after taxes. It comes out to about $1,400.
I got 1,300.
You got 13, so you added 500 plus 450 plus 25 plus 80 plus 100 plus 90 plus 55 plus 100.
Maybe I forgot mine. Yep, 420.
Oh,
14.
420.
Stop.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so guys, here's the thing. What I hope you guys have learned is that you guys are precariously close to your budget. You guys will not be able to save money for anything. If you want a car, you can't save money for a car by doing this. Now,
Who knows?
that doesn't mean you can't survive.
Maybe you don't
Maybe you're
Hey.
money.
$100 for entertainment.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So here's what you guys need to do. This is the reality check thing. This is the punch in the face, guys. You need to be really honest about how you live your lives. Okay? Like if I tell my kids, hey, do you want to do this or that? And they say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll stop doing this so I can do that. Then the question I'll ask them is, well, how likely are you going to be to not do that? Like if you guys say, oh, you know what? I'll just get rid of my phone. Is that something you want to get, like it's not a necessity in life. Like you'll be able to live without a phone. But is it going to make your life so inconvenient or miserable that you would rather not be without the phone? And maybe you could cut out somewhere else. How about transportation? Hey, a free bus ride and light rail pass at $55 a month is a killer deal. But could you walk? The question is this. If you're going to AR and you have to work, do you live close enough to AR and your job that, see, and that's the thing you have, that these are the factors. So before we get rid of our transportation budget,
Why don't you just take bikes?
Bike or skateboard?
if you have a bike, sure, you know.
I think,
But here's the thing, so Tyler, before you say skateboard or bike, now, question. If you work somewhere that, say you wear a uniform, have to, you know, my son is working for Gym Boys now, he has his Gym Boys shirt and his Gym Boys hat. Question. It's the middle of summer, it's hot as hell. He has to get to work, he has to walk, he lives 3 miles from work.
Uber.
Okay?
Uber's
Uber's gonna cost, that's gonna eat up his.
expensive.
How do you trust? I don't trust people.
Uber's like $20.
What if like in Uber like shanks you out of nowhere?
Exactly.
Most law, the driver will be the one.
Hey Ernesto, we're not, let's not discuss like these outrageous scenarios.
But that's reality.
They're not
so
really
all-
outrageous things.
But that's reality.
So you think you're gonna get shanked by an Uber driver? They're gonna look at you, they're gonna think you're gonna shank them.
Yeah.
They don't get background
That's
checks.
terrifying.
Because I'm Mexican, huh?
No, because you're like always frowning and you always have a hood on. So.
Yeah, you look like you just got out of jail. For real. I'm serious, and then you can take.
You know what I'm saying? No, listen. Obviously, there are extreme things. Here's the thing, right? These extreme things that you bring up, yes, here's the irony is they do happen. What you guys, but look right here. So what you guys are noticing, I hope you guys notice is this. If you miss 1 day of work, if something comes up, you're screwed. You're not even meeting your budget in some ways. And all you have to do is miss 1 day of work. Remember, how much money do you make a day? $80 a day. So all of a sudden this goes from $1,400 to $1,320. And if you miss 2 days because you have the flu, it goes from $1,320 to $1,240. Now we are really under budget. Okay? And now you're reaching a point where maybe you can't buy food, you can't pay your rent, you can't make your utility bill or your internet and cable bill. And sometimes when you miss these bills, there's financial penalties. If I am late with my Splunk bill, they charge me an extra $2 or $3. Now, for me, I don't give a crap. I make enough money, I can take $2 or $3. I don't like to give them money because they're freaking multi-millionaires. So there's no need for them to get 2 or 3 extra bucks from me. But here's the thing, if I'm already under budget, 2 or 3 extra bucks adds up, right? Because if I'm missing the utility bill, maybe I'm missing my phone or internet bill. And if you have a credit card, and I hope that God you don't have a credit card at this point, that you're gonna save up some money first. Or if you get a credit card that you're so disciplined, you barely touch it. Because it's actually smart to have a credit card. It's good for you in order to get credit for later on in life if you want to buy something big, if you want to get a loan. If you never have a credit card, and let's say you saved your money all your life and you turn 30 and you want to get a house and you're making enough money to make the payments, you're going to have a low credit rating because you have no credit history.
What if your account on your mom's account? Is that being her credit?
I don't know. If she's the one who's responsible for the card, I don't know if you're picking up that much. Right now, my daughter, I helped her buy a car. Both of our names are on the car. She's financially responsible. I'm ultimately responsible. If she doesn't pay off the car, my credit tanks, or I'm gonna have to pay it off, right? But I'm helping her develop credit. And she got a bunch of money. She said, I'll pay off the car right now. I said, no. You're not gonna pay off the car right now. Give it to me. I'll put it in my savings account and I'll pay it off slowly. The money will be there. If I give it to you, you're gonna spend it on crap. Okay? Because that's what she does. She loves freaking like clothes you buy at like hippie clothes and crap. Right? I didn't want to mention any names, but it rhymes with Libby, sounds like Libby. She's into buying those clothes, and she'll spend money on it. It's like, no, give me, and she's smart enough to say, you know, you're right, she gave me the money, and I'm slowly paying off her car, and that way she builds up credit. Okay, back to this. To check it out, know your budget. Question, what would you cut here? And these are the harsh realities of life. What would be what's a big opportunity cost that you're losing right there?
Food.
No, you can't cut food. I mean, you could. You can save money, but you've got to spend money on food. I'm saying if you were to cut out one thing, what would it be?
College.
College.
Yep.
Libby, question. Is that an opportunity cost you're losing? Okay, so you guys need to understand, guys, look up here. Understand the concept of opportunity cost. When you're going to college, what can't you do? Or what are you limited in doing? As you go to college, you're losing out on what?
Working.
You're losing out on a job. So you could work more and make more money. You could work a second job. Hey, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, when I flunked out of college, I worked 3 jobs at one time. And I'm not saying it like, ooh, check me out. I have a lot of friends who are doing the same thing, working 2 jobs, trying to save up money for trips, you know, going to Europe or going on to college, going to a different college that's more expensive that their parents wouldn't pay for. You're losing an opportunity cost. However, Libby, question, if you don't go to college, is that an opportunity cost? And if so, how? Help her out, Ernesto, how about you? If you don't go to college, so I could skip going to college now and save $90 a month and work extra and make more money. In the long run, might I lose money?
Yeah, you won't never get a good paying job.
Because perhaps your college education will help you get a better paying job. Like what? What jobs do you guys know that require a college education?
Lawyer.
A lawyer, what else?
Doctor.
A doctor, what else?
A nurse.
Those are left. Okay, so a nurse is something a lot more accessible for many people. You can make, I got a friend right now, one of my closest friends lives in North Carolina. He's trying to move back to California. He wants to be an emergency room a burn unit emergency nurse at UC Med Center here. Starting pay as a nurse, $110,000 a year. That's good money. He'd work 3 12-hour shifts. That's how they do it. Then you get, I think, 4 days off. 3 shifts a week, 12 hours a day. Those are long days, but it kind of opens up your schedule. Okay, that's as a nurse. Yeah, that requires a college degree. What else? You want to be a cop or firefighter? Doesn't require a college degree, but right now it requires 60 units of college. You guys remember how much is a unit is a credit? How much are your classes worth?
46.
One class is worth how many credits here in high school? They're worth 5. They're worth 5. Yeah, 5 credits. That's why you get 30 credits a semester, right? 6 classes times 5. You guys, Ty, you remember how much one college class is worth?
No.
It's how we came up with this formula, 46 times 6. So it's 3 credits per class. Okay, so remember, our college costs came out. Ty, would you stay awake, please? Thank you. It came out to 2 classes a semester. That's if you only want to go to. Ty, would you go for a walk so you can stay awake? Well, I need you to keep your eyes open. This is really important.
I'm listening though.
I'm listening though.
How do we know that?
We gotta shut up, I'm teaching. I fart in my sleep. Take a 5-minute break.
10 minutes.
When we come back, we're gonna review terms, and we're gonna be oh!
Nice to hear.
You gonna talk with us?
I've been talking with you.
You have. That's well. That's why I don't have a problem with it. If you want to discuss, I'm going to review terms. And we're going to read out of a book. So I'm going to give you a book, and you got to follow along with us. Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, we're gonna read book now?
No, you're going to go on a break now, and you're not going to talk to me because I get a break too. If you want to talk to me, you have to pay me extra. Yeah, we're going to read our books after the break. Well, actually, we're going to review terms first, and then we're going to read. I mean, you're going to need your book, is what I'm saying.
And then have a good day, Mr. Wallace.
That's it?
I just had a finished paper.
For which class?
Math.
Humble Shimley. He doesn't know.
Yeah, then why do you say it?
Why do I say it?
Then to people that don't know it.
I say it to everybody.
What does it mean?
You made it up.
It's a greeting. It's actually, I use it as a farewell. You know, like, you ever like be around
Oh, yes,
people
we
of different like nationalities and they have like really cool ways of saying hi or goodbye? Yeah, like the Fijians when they say like, do you know anyone from Fiji? The island of Fiji?
No.
We have a couple Fijian students here on campus, but anyway, when they greet each other, they say bula. Bula. Yeah. Or they say Fadwa Chico. That means that's like the cool way. That's like, hey, what's up? Okay, in Fijian.
Yeah.
Bula is just a typical hello, typical greeting. So I always wanted like a goodbye. Humble Shimley. You did that? I did tell my dad. Did I tell you guys about the song "The Cat's in the Cradle"? Did I tell you about that?
I've
Yeah.
heard of it.
You heard that song?
Yeah.
You know what the original song was?
No.
It goes like this. So you know, like the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Yeah.
You know, it goes, the cat's in the cradle and the dog's in the cradle. The fish is in the cradle. And he goes, anyway.
That's so stupid.
Isn't it stupid? I told my daughter that. And I said, isn't that funny? And she goes, wow, you just sang that whole thing to me. And I don't find that funny. Like, why did you do that? And I was like, you know, Maggie, shut up. Do you know how many times I've sat there and I've sung along with you to the Disney Channel on AM radio that you told me about things like freaking, you know, your imaginary pet tarantula? And did I look at you and say, you know, that was really stupid? No, I went along with it. Oh, that's your imaginary pet tarantula. What's its name? Okay. B14. Hi. Oh, she wants to talk to me? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Anna? Hey, how are you? I'm doing great. I talked to your husband yesterday, but I forgot to call you back at 3 o'clock, so I'll apologize for that. What's up? Yes. So, now he's also, go ahead. They can take it their junior or senior year. It doesn't really matter, but just as long as they get it in, so they get 1 semester of it. Now, he can still get workability support. There's other opportunities within the school year. It's just a matter of, since he's taking the science class and needing to use up, and him completing tasks takes him so long. I would rather if we were to take him out say 1 or 2 classes so he can do workability training, then I think we're gonna really fall behind academically. But he does have workability support. If that's something that you would like him to pursue, I can have a workability tech talk to him. But as far as the class, I would put him in it for spring semester of the senior year, if they don't get it their junior year. The idea is to get it their junior year once they turn 16, but it doesn't have to happen that year. No, it's during school. It's during 5th period. Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, he has it, so he has it right now. I'm sorry. Right. So, and I wouldn't want him to, I don't want him pulled out. We need to knock out. We need to get that requirement out of the way. I would have to look at, and I don't have it right now. I could look at his transcript. That is already done. So since I have you on the phone, let's talk. How's your, no, this is perfect. How does Monday the 26th of February go for you? At 11:15. Can you do it at 11:15, or would you have to do it at the end of the school day? You're okay with that? And I only say that, so here's what I would say. If it's too problematic for you, then what we probably do is just review the psych report there. But if you'd rather have the psych there talking to you, then we need to go with the 11:15 one. If not, okay. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Now, right, so, okay. So to be clear, so right now, he has the career class with me. So what that does is, once he's done with it this spring, that opens him up in the fall to do the other workability assignments. So knocking that, so right now what he's gonna do is, if you fill out the paperwork, and it's really important, has he given you the paperwork to fill out? Okay, that isn't to get him out of his earlier classes. That's only, so that paperwork is only for his 5th period class, which he has with me. So what they're gonna do is on block days, hopefully when we come back from the February break, whenever we have a Tuesday block, they will be transported to PetSmart and they will work there for 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah. And then once he has that out of the way, if his schedule is opened up in the fall, what we can do is if there's a class that he's taking that we can pull him out of like once a week for 2 hours, then he could do like a CBI or do some off-campus work experience and get paid for that. Okay? At 11:15 in my room. Okay? No, this is the paperwork that you're signing right now is so that he can go during fifth period with my class. Got it? He could also do, that's a totally separate thing. Yeah. Instead of going to summer school. Gotcha. Yeah, you know, because you do the education part online as far as the class stuff. Yeah, but you know what, my son did it, it's pretty easy. Like, it's not. No, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. I wouldn't bother with it. Especially if the plan is to go to AR or go to JC. Yeah, if that's the plan, then all those tests they're unnecessary. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Alright, and I gotta get back to my class right now. Hey, I'll see you Monday the 26th. You have a wonderful day. Alright guys, sorry about that. Let me just pop off this. Alright guys, we're back to it. Did you guys miss me? I know you did. Let's put away our gadgets now. Let's put away our gadgets now.
Why?
Because I'm the freaking teacher and
Okay.
I just love to feel my power, my authority coursing through my veins as I... Ernesto!
Okay.
He doesn't even.
He can hear me. He already looked up. Ernesto, please put the gadget away. Ernesto, golden one. Come on, baby. Why you gotta treat me like that? Do you want me to take your cell phone and rub it on my belly? You don't want me to do that.
You're not gonna touch my phone.
Dude, I'm gonna take my shirt off and I'm going to jump across the room and land on you. I'm gonna pin your phone between me,
Tell me
my
what's
belly,
up.
and you. and then I'm gonna rub back and forth while you wail on me, screaming for someone to get me off you, but by then it's too late. My belly hairs are gonna be all over your phone.
Oh.
All over his Adidas.
Can I erase this?
No,
Did you not write this stuff down?
I didn't.
Wow.
Got a question for you, Andrew. Let's start with you, Andrew. What is the definition of economics? The study of
the study of the
unlimited.
unlimited gross domestic product.
No,
Unlimited wants and needs.
Yeah.
unlimited wants and needs in competition with what, Nico?
Gross domestic.
Limited resources. Ernesto, give me one resource.
I don't know.
I don't know, it's not a resource.
School.
Give me one resource. Look, hey guys, it's on the board. Give me one resource. No, school is not a resource.
Plants.
Land.
What do you need?
Land.
You need land. What does land mean, Titan? Are we talking about the ground?
No.
No. Good. What are we talking about?
Place of service around.
No. We're not talking about the ground. We're not talking about the ground on which you build factories and shops and things like that. You would think that that's what it would mean, but it doesn't. It means a more kind of general term. What is land referring to? Tyler, what is land referring to?
Like someone's property.
What we would call, no, so you guys are focused on property. It is the blessings of nature, natural resources, like what would be?
Grass.
Water.
Water. What's another resource, Devin? Well, what's another resource one needs in order to keep an economy humming? So you gotta think of our economy. What do we sell? What do we produce? What do we service? Animals for what? Oil. Yeah, actually, that's how we make glue. We use that's
Wait,
those
what? Animals?
glue. So chocolate, glue, cosmetics, all come from rendered animals. When animals die on a farm, when animals are found on the side of the road, what they'll do is they'll take those animals and they'll send them to rendering plants. What they do, yeah, this is true. Let me finish. Crisco, you know Crisco?
Hot sauce?
Crisco. Lard comes in a can, the white stuff that comes in a can. So basically, have you guys ever cooked bacon, left the grease out, the next day it's a white film?
Yeah.
That's what Crisco is. Crisco is animal, so let me finish. It's animal fat. They get it from rendered animals, so they'll take like old horses, old cows, dead deer. They'll take those animals and they'll boil them down, collect all the fat, and that becomes the base for chocolate bars, for cosmetics. Well, think about it, right? The cosmetics, yeah. Like chocolate, have you guys ever seen cocoa? What does cocoa come from? It comes from a bean.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, that's all right. It comes from a bean. So you take that bean and you grind it down and you got a powder. You still don't have a chocolate bar, so think about it. Where do you get your chocolate bar from?
Milk.
So it's milk and the chocolate powder, but it needs something so that it can hold its shape. That comes from lard. So some of the biggest buyers, cosmetics are the same way. If you apply something like eyeliner, the chemical or material itself is like it has a certain color, but it needs to adhere. I'm telling you guys,
You just ruined chocolate for her.
you know what? I'm not going to stop eating chocolate.
Well, you-
So what? I mean, obviously, guys, those rendered animals, they purify it. I mean, it's not like you're eating bacteria or something.
I used to think chocolate milk came from brown cows.
What?
But then I read
Get out of here. You go back to Paulus. That's weird.
That's weird.
No, you think
Where's
it's
strawberry
chocolate. Hey,
come from?
Ernesto, chocolate milk does come from brown cows, baby. You're good.
You know,
Whatever you want to think.
No, there's brown cows, there's black and white cows, and then there's black
So
cows.
you tell me
But
there's
then
strawberry cows now too?
No,
Is that-
they use
how-
different
Those
cows
are
for
the
different
pink
things.
cows.
Don't respond to him. Don't do it, because he'll just stop.
So what?
Antagonizing.
Antagonizing? Yeah. I think
And non-fat milk comes from really skinny cows.
Oh my god.
So,
That's not some watered down milk.
So, land represents natural resources. What's another resource, Devin? Look on the board. You can see where it says resources here. It says land. What's the next one? Capital. There's two types of capital. Andrew, give me one type of capital. No. What type of capital? There's two types of capital.
Physical.
There's physical capital. Nico, what is an example of physical capital?
Cows.
No,
No.
not cows. That goes back to
I'm
land.
kidding, it's human.
human.
No, I just said, what's an example of physical capital? It can't be human.
Cows
What's
are
physical capital? He just said it. What was it?
Mechanical. Wait.
What did you just say?
Oh,
Machinery.
What with your hands?
No, it's the machinery that one, listen, that one uses to produce something. So you use physical capital to produce a product or a good. So in an economy, for example, can we put away the phone, please? I didn't ask you to explain what you're doing with the phone. I'm just put the phone away. If the good that you're producing, are you trying to like
No, I just had to check.
do you want me to Chuck Norris?
Who's that?
Who's that? That's
You know
this
what
guy.
Chuck Norris
Right?
is?
No.
This guy. Look at what he wrote. Look at what he wrote to me. You the man, Wallace. Chuck.
Okay, when you said Chuck Norris, I thought you meant like throw something at her. Because you said Chuck Norris.
I did too. I
Don't
did too.
Oh
just
my.
ignore her. She's
Do we just pretend she's not there, Mr. Wallace?
Because I thought you had like a
Mr.
toy
Wallace,
that was
can
named
I
Norris, so I was like,
No, but
Can you what? No.
Oh.
It's 11
Listen, I mean.
That felt good. Ask me again. No.
No!
No.
Yes.
Back to this.
No, not like.
Physical capital, the machinery an economy uses to produce goods or a business uses. What is human capital, Ernesto?
Ah.
So if you have a business and I say to you, hey, I want to buy your business, and you say,
Oh,
okay,
and then those-
well, your cost is going to include,
Negotiation.
what do you have to, no, it's not negotiable, well, who's going to negotiate?
You have to like have a pricing.
No. No, well, this, at least she's asking questions about.
Well, I wasn't finishing with my question.
Alright, say it.
Well, it doesn't even matter no more.
Oh, now you made Ernesto mad.
Oh no.
Now he's gonna leave, which he wouldn't do earlier, so I don't get. Like, why all of a sudden you're leaving now? Because earlier when I asked you to leave, you didn't want to leave. Oh, just because he likes me.
What time yet? What
I
time is
said,
it?
where are you going?
He's leaving now because he hates you.
It's only 11:22. What time does lunch start?
Well,
'He's going
12:16.
back to London now.
yeah, I didn't eat for you either.
Hey,
Yes.
good luck out there.
Good luck where?
Out there.
Why are your pants so low? Can you not?
Pull up your wearing a belt.
You have a belt. Pull up your pants.
So what?
Oh my god.
Huh?
I hope you trip and fall.
fall.
I hope you trip and fall.
I hope when you're walking home, you get like.
It looks like his waist is like way down at the bottom.
What is she gonna get shanked by a rich white person who lives
Yeah.
on American River Drive?
Yeah. Oh, she does.
Oh, excuse me, young lady, while I get out of my Mercedes, come here so I can shank you.
Yes.
This is a really rough neighborhood. Be careful out there, guys. You might get run over by
No,
someone
my neighborhood
in a
is
golf
so
cart.
sketch. My neighborhood is so sketchy.
Go.
How?
Hey, if you're gonna be part of this, would you sit down and be
No,
part
I
of
just
this?
want to hear why her neighbor is so
No, go away. You're disrupting my day. Hey, have a wonderful day.
You too, Mr.
Be safe
Wall.
out there.
You know what you're doing home?
Okay, I'll see you in, tomorrow.
No.
Libby, really? Back to this, human capital. Hey, now that he's gone, what's human capital? Give me an example. Things like what?
Wait.
There you go. Your labor force. So labor, human capital. So again, if you're buying a business, remember, if you buy a pizza parlor, you're not just buying the physical capital, You're not just buying the ovens, you're not just buying the land, you're not buying the resources, you're not buying the wheat, you're not buying all of the inputs, you're also buying the salaries of the employees. You have to factor that in too. Because at the end of the month, someone's going to expect a paycheck or they're not going to work for you. So you have to factor that in. Is this an obnoxious thing you want to say?
No.
Okay, let's hear it.
There are some stores that don't have human capital.
Yeah, you know, so there's a big debate over, do we want to have a society whereby our economy is driven by machines, by robotics? And what is that going to do to people? Because let's say they say that trucking, if trucking is handled by self-driving trucks, that's going to put millions of truck drivers out of work. And we're not talking about just a few, we're talking about millions.
So like waiters and stuff, we already looking at what
So there's a pizza place, I don't know what it's called, I know that they opened one down in San Diego where people can go in and they can buy their pizza from a machine.
Yeah.
They can put in the input, okay. Yeah, you can get that from a machine,
Well,
right?
there's one with like the chilies or whatever, like the new chilies by Armin.
They don't have waiters?
Well, yeah, they have, well, no, they don't. They just, what's it called? There's like a thing on the table, and it's like an iPad or a computer thing, and you can just like select what you want, and then you just go up and go get your own food.
Oh, so it's like a cafeteria. Okay, I didn't know that. I haven't been to Chili's in a long
I know.
time. Teachers, we might be out of work soon.
What?
The more
End
independent study they allow students to do, the more classes on the computer, the more Apex type of class. If you only need one teacher to oversee, you know, passwords and stuff, then the rest of us are what we call superfluous.
Wow.
You could get, how about this, guys? Right now, there are some universities, okay, where you could take like a class at Stanford. I know this happens. You could take a class at Stanford, and it's being taught by a guy from Harvard. And what they're doing is, he's teaching the class in real time, and it's being broadcast to students throughout the world who are part of this consortium. And they're taking the class, and the deal is this. Hey, instead of having a professor at your university teach the class, say at Sac State, a mediocre university, why can't they have a professor from a top-notch college here in the world teach the class? Especially when you have these big classes, because I don't know, when you guys take a college class, I took a college class, one time had 250 students. There wasn't a lot of Q&A in it. Teacher lectured, and then everyone left and gave you an assignment, and you came back and turned the assignment in.
Some kids are sitting in the back row, like on the computer taking notes because they can't see.
No, we didn't have computers when I went to school. But there are some kids, like, and not me, who would lay down in the aisles and sleep. But that wasn't me, yeah?
I wanna do that. I actually plan on, doing most of my academic classes online and just doing the art and business to free up my time.
So this is kind of the reality of life. We're moving towards that, people.
Cars gonna be flying.
You know, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, unless there is legislation. And here's the thing, if you're going to deregulate the federal government, if you're about deregulation, then you can't tell businesses not to do these things. Because remember, a business in a capitalist society here in the United States is set up to make money for people. It's set up to make money for its shareholders. Its charter, in order to call itself a corporation, must maximize profit. And if it doesn't, then people are going to divest and it's not going to make money. So, what are we going to do as a society? I believe there's one city right now here in the United States. Which city is it? I can't remember which city. They're giving, well, in Alaska, they give out a check to anybody who lives in Alaska.
Give a what?
They get a, well, let me finish. They get a check that's cut by the oil industry because the oil industry makes so much money. Everyone in the state gets a kickback from the oil industry, okay? There's a country, I believe it's, I want to say Norway, is they have an experiment. They're starting to give their citizens, I think it's like a few $1,000s each year. They're giving their citizens. And it's kind of a trial run to see if this will offset the stress and all of these things created by jobs that are lost through automation. So this is, I mean, guys, it's a huge deal. It is a huge deal, and where it's really going to hit us is in our transportation economy. Because we rely so, I don't know if you guys know this, but we rely so much on trucking. So much. There are so many truckers out there. I believe one estimate, the last estimate I heard was about, there are 10 million truck drivers on the road today, driving for the trucking industry. And if we go to self-driving vehicles, that could be upwards of, let's say, have 5 million people who have to work.
Yeah, Uber drivers.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but if you have a self-driving car, is this, one of these days, is a car gonna pull up with no one in it, and you just swipe your card, and the car takes off and takes you to the next place?
Oh, heck no.
Well, I mean, but what if that becomes the reality?
Yeah, I saw a video that this movie the reality.
I don't know.
And the
Are there?
cars, there's like the Cars Land or the movie Cars, and then there's like automated cars just like driving around.
I haven't been to Disneyland a lot, I couldn't
It's
say.
like on TV and stuff. It's
Okay.
like, they're like, yeah, they're like, when you're walking and then they're like moving, and you like walk in front of them, they'll like automatically stop.
Okay. You know, I don't, so here's the thing. That's a type of resource. And that's a resource that is going to be impacted. Human resources, a labor force, is going to be greatly impacted by technology. Right now, the coal industry, you know, the new administration has deregulated the coal industry. But here's the thing, the jobs still keep declining. Why?
Because there isn't any coal.
No, there's plenty of coal. Because of the natural gas industry, because of the onset of fracking technology, we don't need coal. You guys know most of our coal, I didn't know this, I just read an article on this, what most of our coal, or a lot of our coal is sold for. It's sold for what they call metallurgical coal. So one of the big buyers of our metallurgical coal, and the coal industry supposedly is shaking in their boots right now, because one of the big buyers of metallurgical coal is China. They buy a lot of our coal, they turn it into different types of metal to be used in the building of their cities as their infrastructure advances. But they're starting to become more coal dependent. Now what they're hoping is, because China's trying to become a little more green, because they kind of choked themselves to death, that maybe that's going to mellow out, that they're not going to go to coal, they're going to go to something else. And you know, who knows, maybe a new technology will be created. But this is all, I mean, all of these things have an impact on labor resources, human resources. So understand that. We talk about capital, we talk about human capital, we talk about physical capital. These things are important to know. Physical capital, guys, becomes important as we advance technologically. That's going to change the face of physical capital. Okay? So right now, one of the things that robotics engineers are working on is, I don't know if you guys have seen this is like a big invention, is this robot that works like a snake. It undulates. Okay? Why would that be important in the world of robotics? Why do you guys think something that undulates? It's moving, but look at the movement I'm doing. So right now, one of the things, it's what?
It's copying a snake.
It's copying a snake, so what does that mean that this thing, so I want you guys to notice something here. Here's a robotic arm, watch this. And I have, in my claw hand, I have something I'm gonna fit on something, okay? So I'm gonna fit this thing, and I'm gonna place it right here. Now notice the movement. It's streamlined, it's straight. I've just placed that thing. And maybe my hand now will spin, so if I have to tighten it, Mr. Mahoney, what's up?
Mr. Wolf, how you doing, sir? Just wandering on campus.
You look marvelous today.
Thank you, sir.
That is a very nice sweater. I wish I had a sweater like that.
Everybody does.
But you would never wear that sweater.
No,
It's not true. Yeah, maybe I would. I don't know if I could pull that sweater off.
I used to start from the bottom like this.
You are welcome to stay in here if you would like, if you were looking for a place to stay. I bet your class is watching a Shakespeare play right now.
There's no need, it's my prep period.
No, it's your, it's your prep period.
Yeah.
Okay?
Alright.
So, if it
I was just
undulates-
checking out your wing.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, right. So if it undulates, now look at the movement, guys. So here's what happens. The reason why it's so important that this snake-like robot can do it, is that it gives the robotic arm more movement, a greater range of movement. So when they talk about things like using robots to perform surgery, like if the surgery is that it reaches in, pulls something out, and it's just moving in one direction, that's fine. The robotic arm could be more precise. If it can move around like this, though, I want you guys to think about this. All of a sudden, it creates more variety of things it can do, which means less reliance on human beings to do those things, to perform those movements. One of the things they say is, how come robotics hasn't taken over the hotel industry, the hospitality industry? And one of the arguments that are being made about, or not argument, it's a point, is that because a robot can't do hospital corners on a bed, because you have to be able to use your fingertips to do this, and they don't have robots that are so finely tuned to those kinds of movements. But when you have movements like this, side to side, diagonal, back and forth in 360 degrees, now all of a sudden you have robots that can perform those movements just like a human being. But unlike a human being, you don't have to pay for insurance on it. You don't have to feed it. You probably don't have to give it breaks. And you can work it 24 hours a day. So it increases production, which could increase profits, right? But it eliminates human capital. It eliminates labor. Entrepreneurs, don't worry about, do you guys remember what entrepreneurs are? What's an entrepreneur? Here's my hint. Eyes, what does that mean? It's someone with business, economic vision. Someone with economic, so it'd be someone saying, hey, you know what? It's great that we have robotics. Let's see if we can get a robot that can move like a snake. Yes. Managers don't always have, so the entrepreneur is the person who comes up with the idea for a business. Now, I might be a great ideas person, but let's say I'm a terrible people person, that might make me a bad manager. Does that make sense? Whereas I could say, hey, we need to come up with, I remember one day a student was sitting there and said, Wallace, why can't we come up with a pen that the bottom of the pen lights up? So we could, remember me talking about that?
Yeah.
So we could take notes, and I thought, that's a great, now, they might not have the skill to design it, so now you got the entrepreneur who comes up with the idea, and they hand it off to the R&D people. You guys know what R&D means?
No.
Research and design. So the
Do you have to pay them to do that?
Oh yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah, depending on who they are, what their skills are. You know, Mr. Cole teaches some things in his class, that there are certain types of presses and cutting equipment. You guys can make a lot of money. Hey, if you guys are looking for a job after high school, I would say in both male and female, because I know there's a former Rio female student who's doing this, get your welding certificate from American River College. Weekends only for 8 weeks, and if you're good enough, if you're skilled enough to be able to work with a welder, the Siemens Corporation out of Elk Grove, Jesus.
Where's that name come from?
It's just someone's name, man. They will hire you to build trains, and they will pay you a lot of money, and you can work long shifts. And I know that there's a girl from, Mr. Cole told me, there's a former student from Rio who went through the program at American River College. I believe she graduated 2 or 3 years ago, and she's working in Elk Grove now at the rail yards, working as a welder, and makes, I think it's like $45 an hour.
Isn't that when like?
Guys, that's huge money. What's that?
Isn't that when you put metal together?
It's when you use flame or electricity, okay, depending if it's gas or arc welding. Sometimes it's a combination of both. And then you either cut with it or you melt things together. So you get metal hot, you put them together, and then when it hardens, you know, you now have a weld.
Yeah, my mom used that.
Input. So your input is the stuff you put into the machines, guys, in order to produce the goods. What's a good?
You.
Oh. What's a good?
The thing that consumers want.
Very good. So it's the product that, I'm going to say, an economy produces for sale. Okay? And where are goods sold, Nico? Don't say wherever it's sold. What do we call it in economic terms? It's sold where? Excellent. In the market. What does a market mean, Devin? Is a market a specific place? Like, say you go to the market to buy groceries? Is that what we're talking about when we talk about the market? No.
Can be.
Now, yes and no. Yes, it can be a specific place where an exchange of currency and goods take place. But what is it in general terms, guys? What is the market?
Us.
How? How do we make up the market?
Because we're the buyers. And
So it is that field of buyers and sellers. That's what we call the market. Okay? It's where the transactions take place. It's where the entrepreneurs do their stuff. It's where the market is, once you've produced the goods. See, the industry produces the good. The automotive industry is where cars are made. Then cars are sent out to car lots, to stores that specialize in selling cars, and that's what we refer to as the market. Okay? And sometimes the terms are interchangeable. The automotive industry, they might include the sellers of cars too. But the marketplace is where cars are sold. The industry is where cars are produced. Input. So physical capital, Devin, is the machinery that makes goods. Input are all of the things you need to make the goods. So for example, if I'm making bread, what would be input?
wheat,
Wheat, what else?
flour,
Flour, what else?
water,
Water, what else?
dough,
Well, that's our water and flour mixed together. That's the dough. What else?
salt.
What's that? I didn't say sandwiches, I just said bread.
Oh, bread.
But let's say we got, okay, seeds, if you do like a 9-grain bread, sourdough, if you're doing sourdough bread. So these are all inputs, okay? What's a service, Andrew?
Service is a.
You're going, Tai to work? Bye-bye. What's a service?
Service is a.
Service is an activity. Libby, finish that. A service is an activity. It's an activity that is paid for or performed for an exchange of money. Okay? So, there are some things, government services, for example, schools, we provide a school. Who pays for it?
Tax.
Taxpayers pay for it. If you need a plumber, do taxpayers pay for plumbing? Well, at the school they do. But on a personal level, what we call the private sector, you would go to a plumber to fix your toilet. Okay? That's a service. So now I'm gonna ask you this question, Devin, what is GDP? What does it stand for? Oh.
Oh.
GDP, what does it stand for? Gross domestic product, really good. What is it a measure of, Libby?
Well.
The income you make before tax.
No. That would be your gross income. You're getting it confused. So gross domestic product or gross domestic production is an indicator of what? It is an indicator. I don't know if I've repeated this enough to you guys, so I'm going to throw it at you guys. It is an indicator of a nation's economic health over a year. Got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So typically when we talk about a country's GDP, we're looking at the economic health of a country, and we look at over a 1 year period. Okay? What is it that we look at, Tyler, when we look at GDP?
Like the industries that make up the
So we look at all products, all things being produced, so all goods being produced, and what else? You guys okay?
No, we're good.
You're never okay. Are you guys tired? Have you been doing this
Yes.
too much? All right, work out of your books.
Can I go?
Alright.
No. I said at noon, not at quarter to noon.
I'm just gonna be in this frying pan.
I know that, Libby. I mean, look,
Do you?
if it would make you happy, I would say, don't even take my class. Just stay in here. Clearly, you hate me.
No, I.
You just, no, I mean, I don't want to abuse the privilege of you going there.
You're not abusing it.
And I think that the understanding is you could go there towards the end of it, but quarter till is, to me, not the end of it. There's still 30 minutes of class. What do you want me to say? You know, if you got a problem with it, I'm gonna take your backpack and I'm gonna rub it on my belly.
No.
That'll end, well then stop.
How about 5 till 12?
How about at 5 till 12, I take your shoes and I rub them on my belly? That's my new threat. If you guys mess with me, I'm gonna take your personal items and I'm gonna rub them on my belly.
oh my god.
You too, Chris. You give me crap, I'm gonna take your mints and I'm gonna rub them on my belly.
Vince.
Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you take out your freaking book and like work on chapters 1, 2, or 3, or that freaking chart I asked for.
Yeah, I'm the only one who did it.
The concept, take out the book.
Take out your books right now. You guys wanted a break. I'm giving you a break from me talking. Take out your books. Open your books.
I like it when you talk.
Open your freaking book.
It's just going away from the camera.
You put,
Tyler, what's going on?
You tell me.
Chris, no.
You tell me.
let me open up your book.
We're in Econ class.
I'm happy to win. Who was that?
That was me.
You gotta say, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, ideally, in a public place, you probably should cover your mouth if you burp that big. Like if we're working at PetSmart, you let out a big burp like that when customers are walking down the aisle, they're not gonna like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just, if you know you got a big burp coming in your at PetSmart, just like do this. Okay?
Okay.
And always say excuse me just in case. You know, I mean, everybody burps, but
Okay.
just,
I don't burp.
I don't either.
Chinese people don't burp. We're too evolved. Oh, I get it. E is for easy on the wall.